Imagine for a moment that you have just walked into a crowded room. Perhaps it is a lively party thrown by a mutual friend, or maybe it is a high-stakes corporate networking event. The room is buzzing with energy. Everywhere you look, people are grouped together, laughing, exchanging stories, and looking incredibly comfortable in their own skin. Now, picture yourself in that very room. You are standing off to the side, maybe near the snack table, or hovering by a wall. You are holding a glass of water or a cold drink, and your other hand is desperately glued to your smartphone. You are scrolling endlessly through social media feeds you do not actually care about, or pretending to read a deeply important text message. But if we are being completely honest, you are just using that glowing screen as a shield. You are trying to hide that awkward, uncomfortable hesitation that bubbles up inside you at the mere thought of walking up to a complete stranger and saying hello. Have you ever found yourself in a situation exactly like this? Have you ever felt that sinking realization that you have incredible ideas, a wealth of knowledge, and a genuinely good heart, but when it comes time to express those things to a group of people, your words suddenly evaporate? It feels as though your talent is locked inside a vault, and you simply do not have the combination code to let it out. If your answer is yes, I want you to take a deep breath and realize something incredibly important right now. You are not alone. Millions of brilliant, capable people across the globe struggle with this exact same feeling of social paralysis every single day. But today, starting right from this very moment, we are going to completely rewrite that narrative. From the time we are young children all the way through our university years, we dedicate thousands of hours to formal education. We memorize complex mathematical formulas, we study the laws of physics, we learn how to write computer code, and we master technical skills that are designed to help us secure a good job or build a successful business. Yet, ironically, almost no school or college ever sits us down to teach us the single most important skill that will determine our ultimate success and happiness in the real world: the art of connecting with other human beings. In today's rapidly changing, hyper-connected world, merely holding a prestigious degree or being the absolute best at your technical job is no longer enough. If you cannot articulate your thoughts effectively, if you cannot build genuine trust with others, and if you cannot navigate social dynamics, you are going to watch countless golden opportunities slip right through your fingers. Social skills are not just a luxury reserved for outgoing people at weekend parties. They are the master key that unlocks doors in both your personal and professional life. When we look around and see someone who effortlessly commands the attention of a room, someone who can walk up to a complete stranger and speak to them as if they have been best friends for 20 years, our brains tend to play a trick on us. We immediately assume that this person was simply born with a magical gift. We tell ourselves that confidence, charisma, and the ability to hold a captivating conversation are innate talents, gifts bestowed by the universe upon a lucky few, while the rest of us are doomed to be socially awkward forever. This is one of the most toxic misunderstandings we can carry. The absolute truth is that interacting with people, building rapport, and projecting a magnetic personality is a skill. It is exactly like learning how to drive a car or learning how to swim. Think back to the very first time you sat behind the steering wheel of a car. The sheer number of things you had to manage: the clutch, the brake, the accelerator, the steering wheel, the rear-view mirrors, and the traffic outside felt absolutely terrifying and impossible to coordinate. But after a few weeks of consistent practice, your brain adapted. Suddenly, you were shifting gears and navigating complex intersections without even consciously thinking about it. The science of social skills works in the exact same way. If you break out into a cold sweat at the thought of talking to people today, it does not mean you are a lost cause. It simply means you have not yet practiced the mechanics of socializing in the right way. The foundation of any memorable and impactful conversation does not actually begin with what you say. It begins with how you listen. This might sound slightly counterintuitive, but the most universally loved and respected communicators in the world are not the ones who never stop talking. They are the ones who possess the rare ability to listen deeply. Most of us, when we are engaged in the conversation, are not actually listening to the other person. Instead, we are simply waiting for our turn to speak. While the other person is talking, our internal monologue is racing, trying to formulate the perfect clever response, or waiting for a brief pause so we can jump in and tell a story about ourselves. This is not a real conversation. A real, deeply connecting conversation happens when you practice active listening. This means giving the person in front of you the greatest gift you possess, your undivided, undistracted attention. When someone speaks to you, maintain a gentle, comfortable eye contact. Give them subtle physical cues that you are entirely present. A simple nod of the head, or offering short verbal affirmations that show you are absorbing their words. Imagine how it feels when you are pouring your heart out about something important, and the person across from you pulls out their phone or constantly checks their watch. It instantly makes you feel undervalued, and you probably want to end the interaction right then and there. Conversely, when you give someone your complete focus, you silently communicate that they matter. Human nature dictates that we are naturally drawn toward people who make us feel valued and important. Beyond the words we speak and the way we listen, there is an entirely silent language that we are broadcasting every second of every day. Interestingly, this silent language often screams much louder than our actual voice. I am talking, of course, about body language. Psychologists and communication experts have long noted that the actual words you use make up only a tiny fraction of the message you convey. The vast majority of your impact comes from your vocal tonality and your physical posture. You could be delivering the most profound, intelligent insight in the world, but if your shoulders are hunched forward, your eyes are darting nervously at the floor, and your hands are fidgeting wildly, the person listening to you will subconsciously reject your message. They will sense your lack of conviction. On the flip side, if you stand up straight with your shoulders pulled slightly back, maintain a warm, genuine smile, and speak with a calm, steady rhythm, even the most ordinary statement will leave a lasting impression. Having good body language does not mean standing rigidly like a soldier at attention. It means finding a state of physical relaxation. When your body is relaxed, the environment around you naturally relaxes, and people automatically feel safe and comfortable, opening up to you. Once you have mastered the art of listening and your body is projecting a welcoming energy, the next logical question is how to keep a conversation flowing without it feeling forced. We have all experienced that dreaded moment where you exchange basic pleasantries talking about the weather, the terrible traffic, or the food at the event, and then a suffocating, awkward silence descends upon the interaction. Your mind goes completely blank. The ultimate weapon to destroy this awkward silence is genuine curiosity. Every single human being on this planet enjoys talking about their own life, their passions, their struggles, and their unique experiences. Your job is not to entertain them with endless jokes. Your job is to ask the right questions. Let us say someone mentions they recently returned from a vacation. Do not just reply with a generic, "Oh, that sounds nice," and let the conversation die. Dig deeper. Ask them what the absolute most surprising part of the trip was, or ask them about the best meal they ate while they were there. When you ask open-ended questions that allow people to paint a picture with their words, the conversation generates its own momentum. You no longer have to stress about what brilliant thing you are going to say next, because the other person is eagerly providing you with an endless stream of conversational threads to pull on. However, to execute all of these techniques successfully, you need the underlying engine that powers all human interaction, confidence. And, as we established earlier, confidence is not a magic pill you can swallow to instantly banish all your fears. Confidence is a muscle, and muscles only grow through resistance and consistent, incremental training. If you identify as a deeply shy or introvert in person, you do not need to force yourself to stand on a stage in front of 1,000 people tomorrow. Start ridiculously small. Tomorrow morning, when you walk into your office building, make it a point to look the security guard in the eye, smile, and say a warm, "Good morning." When you stop to buy your coffee, do not just mumble your order while staring at your shoes. Look at the barista and ask them how their shift is going. These micro-interactions carry almost zero social risk. If it goes a little awkwardly, no harm is done. But psychologically, these tiny daily habits send a powerful message to your brain. They teach your nervous system that talking to strangers is safe, normal, and even enjoyable. By consistently giving yourself these tiny daily challenges, you will eventually wake up one day and realize you are having a deep, fascinating conversation with a complete stranger at a networking event, and you are entirely free of anxiety. That is the undeniable power of momentum. Equally important to the actions you take on the outside is the dialogue happening on the inside. The voice inside your head dictates your reality. If you are constantly telling yourself a negative story, saying things like, "I am naturally boring," "Nobody cares what I have to say," or "If I speak up, I will stumble over my words and everyone will laugh at me," that internal negativity will inevitably leak into your external behavior. You will unconsciously sabotage your own interactions. You must ruthlessly edit your self-talk. Remind yourself daily that you are a complex, interesting individual with unique perspectives that are worth sharing. And here is a liberating truth. Even if you do mess up, even if you stutter or forget your train of thought, the world will not end. The most charismatic leaders and captivating speakers in the world make mistakes. What separates them from everyone else is that they do not panic. They simply smile at their own human error, perhaps make a gentle, self-deprecating joke, and move on. People do not connect with flawless, robotic perfection. People connect with vulnerability, authenticity, and realness. Being comfortable with your own imperfections makes you infinitely more relatable and attractive to others. Let us transition into the realm of building long-term, meaningful relationships and the concept of networking. For many people, the word networking leaves a bad taste in their mouth. It conjures up images of overly aggressive people handing out business cards, faking smiles, and engaging in purely transactional conversations just to get a promotion or close a deal. That is not networking, that is manipulation. True, enduring relationships are built on a foundation of authentic generosity. If you want people to value you, support you, and stand by you, you have to be willing to add value to their lives first, without keeping a scoreboard. Adding value does not necessarily mean giving them money or solving massive problems for them. Often the greatest value you can offer is simply being a safe harbor. It is listening without judgment when they are stressed. It is putting a hand on their shoulder during a tough time and genuinely saying, "I am here for you." It is recognizing their hard work and giving them sincere, specific praise when no one else is watching. When you approach human connections with a mindset of giving rather than taking, you stop being just another contact in their phone, and you become an irreplaceable part of their life. Furthermore, relationships are like plants. They require consistent watering to survive and thrive. You cannot have a fantastic, deep conversation with someone, build a great connection, and then completely ignore them for 6 months until you suddenly need a favor. When you do that, the other person feels used and discarded. Master communicators understand the power of the check-in. Sending a brief, thoughtful text message out of the blue that says, "Hey, something reminded me of you today. Just wanted to check in and see how life is treating you," works absolute wonders. Reaching out to celebrate their small victories, wishing them well on their birthdays with a personalized message rather than a generic greeting, or sharing an article you think they might find interesting. These are the small, consistent threads that weave together to form a highly resilient bond of trust. Along with this consistency, you must develop adaptability. You have to learn how to read the room. The casual, vibrant energy you bring to a weekend barbecue with your oldest childhood friends is fundamentally different from the measured, respectful, and articulate demeanor you must adopt when pitching an idea to the board of directors at your company. Understanding the nuances of your environment and adjusting your approach without losing your core authenticity is the true hallmark of a socially intelligent person. Finally, the golden thread that ties all of these skills together is empathy. Empathy is the profound ability to step out of your own shoes and mentally walk in the shoes of another person. It is feeling their joys, their frustrations, and their fears as if they were your own. Every single person you meet is walking around with a deep, often unspoken desire to be understood. When you listen to someone with the pure intention of understanding their worldview without rushing to judge them or fix their problems, you create a space of immense psychological safety. An empathetic person is never truly alone in this world because human beings are naturally magnetized to the warmth and comfort that empathy provides. If you have stayed with me through this entire journey of words, I hope you have realized that improving your social skills is not about learning cheap psychological tricks or manipulating people to get what you want. It is a beautiful, lifelong journey of becoming a more self-aware, sensitive, and courageous human being. It is about conquering your internal fears, changing the way you view yourself, and having the bravery to offer your most authentic self to the world. You already possess everything you need to be a charismatic, deeply connected individual. You simply need to polish those tools through daily practice and a positive mindset. I challenge you to stop hiding in the corners of the room. Step out, ask the question, offer the smile, and listen to the stories around you. I would love to know which part of this philosophy resonated with you the most. Was it the realization about active listening, the challenge to change your body language, or the concept of building confidence through tiny daily interactions? Please leave a comment below and share your thoughts, because your insights inspire me to keep creating content that dives deep into the human experience. And if this message has sparked a positive change in your mindset today, I strongly encourage you to subscribe to this channel. Hitting that subscribe button is not just about following a page, it is a personal commitment you are making to yourself to never stop growing. Join our community and let us continue this incredible journey of becoming the best, most connected versions of ourselves.